So I talked to Brother Khalid a Sunday night after we had left Chicago. We had a 7:40 flight out of Chicago Midway on Continental to arrive at Washington National at noon. And that night I was lecturing at Al Sampson's church. We finished the lecture, got home about 1:45, 1 o'clock. We were to leave at 5:45 to go to the airport. A friend of mine at that lecture told me, he said, he had to go, he said, Brother Steve, I got a limousine service. Next time you come to Chicago, let me and my buddies pick you up from the airport. We'll do it for free, etc., etc., etc. Normally my father and mother pick me up, which is something they enjoy doing. Anyway, I said, Baba, actually I need you tonight, this morning, in a few hours, because I'm taking my babies from Chicago back here with me, and I got sisters, 5 of us. We got 8 pieces of luggage. We ain't gonna fit in no cab. So if you got the limo, I could use it, Baba, at 5:45. I said, I hate to put that weight on you so late in the meeting, but would you do it for me? I need you. He said, brother, you got it, hands down. You know I'll do it for you. What time is my number? Either I'll be there or my brother will be. This is Brother Harold. He said, my brother will be there. We'll get you from, I gave him the address, everything. At 5 a.m., I called him up to make sure he's up. I don't be missing no airplanes. And to get us. So at 5 o'clock, he calls me and he says, my cousin is on the way. He should be there about now. I said, Baba, that's early. We don't need to leave till 5:45 a.m. It's dark. It looks in Chicago about just like this, 5 a.m. My mama lives at 60th and Cottage Grove facing Washington Park, which is about a 30-block park that goes in Chicago, 8 blocks long, 8 blocks wide, and from 60th to 47th to 50th. From 60th to 49th Street in Chicago. It's a huge park. We had renamed it Malcolm X Shabazz Park, but of course the Hunkies took the signs down and kept putting Washington Park back up there. The armory that you see in the movie The Spook Who Sat by the Door sits in Washington Park. That armory that they raided and stole from was the armory in Chicago that sits in Washington Park at approximately 54th and Cottage Grove. And of course Sam Greeley lived right down the street on 63rd right off of Cottage Grove, who wrote The Spook Who Sat by the Door, lives right down the street. Anyway, at 5 o'clock, when he tells me his cousin is coming, I go to the window, I look down, there's the long gray limo in front of the building. The brother comes in, buzzes the door, I answer the phone, he says, I'm here, Harold sent me to pick you all up. I said, Baba, your early takeoff time isn't until 5:45. Just at ease, I'll bring the luggage down shortly, we're all getting ready. We're all up there fighting over getting in the bathroom. I had planned on getting in the bathroom before everybody else so I could shower and start taking the luggage down. Because when you got children, you're waking them up after 2-3 hours sleep. You have to carry them sometimes because they don't really wake up. So I get the luggage out the way, come back, get the kids. Just so happens, I turn my back, Jombe jumps in the shower ahead of me. Might have saved my life. About 5:20, I look outside, the limousine is gone. Brother had gone, he went to use the cellular phone in the car and the battery was weak. He couldn't call his brother to tell him that he was on the scene, had made contact with me, and that we would be leaving in about 15-20 minutes. So he drives to the corner, to the payphone at the corner of the gas station. Gets out of his car, uses the payphone on the wall, gas station is all back here. He notices a car with no license plates, black tinted glasses, 1979 Chevy Caprice. And he had noticed the car when he drove up originally. It was sitting about 10 cars down, and my mama's building covers the whole block. So there at this end of the block, the doorway or entranceway is in the middle of the block. So when he drives up at 5, he sees the 4 black men sitting in the car back there. It was dark, he didn't pay much attention. He pulls up, he goes out, makes the call, comes back in the limo. 20 minutes later, he goes to the phone to calls his cousin to tell him he's there, and notices that the car drives up in the gas station too. Doesn't get out, don't accost him, don't address him, don't attempt to rob him. He gets back in the car, drives around the block, because it's not a one-way, but the only way you can get back on the front or outside the street is to go around the block, come back up in the front. He notices that the black car follows him all the way back around the corner and pulls up back down at the corner of the street. Now he's sitting there, it's 5:20, 5:25, 5:30. You know, Brother Copley, Brother Charles will tell you, everybody know he come to pick me up. I ain't quick at running right out. Anybody come pick me up, no, I'll be slow in getting outside. You just cannot count on me running right out. You can't count on me running right in. I just be kind of consistently inconsistent. So there's Brother Harold coming in. He's the one who brought me to the University of Minnesota the first time I went up there. He was a student up there. He's now going here to graduate school at Howard. So I did the luggage. I started to go down. I'm the last one in the shower. Everybody's just about ready. I go down with the luggage. Limousine driver sitting there shivering. I said, what happened, Baba? He said, look. I walked around to his side of the car, and there was the glass had all been shattered on the limousine. I said, what happened? He said, Baba, there was a car of 4 men back there with no license plates, had an orange tag and a window temporary tag. Brother, they drove up on the car and shot through the windows. I mean, Baba, they just missed my head. And he didn't even know who I was. When he saw me, he knew me. Everybody in Chicago knew his face from me being condemned in the public. So he said, oh, man, I remember you. He said, I didn't even know where I was coming to pick up, man. He said, but these brothers been out here with me for 40 minutes. Now, what happened was, at 5:20, it started getting light outside. And it got so light that they may have thought that when he went to the phone, having seen them twice, that he may have either called the police or called me and told me don't come down. They, noticing that it's getting lighter outside, are getting jumpy because it's easier to see them. 4 black men in baseball caps. Now, in Chicago, in this black neighborhood with Mayor Daley, who has thousands of police out there, 4 black men in the middle of the day in smoke-tinted windows in Chicago with no license plates can count on getting stopped. Let alone you 4 black men at 5 a.m. in the morning with guns in your pocket. Now, when I come down, now I'm worried because coming down the elevator is Kiombe, my aunt, Nakia, Steve Jr., and my mama to kiss us off into the limo to go on to the airport. I look down, the brother's so shaken. He's sitting in the car with the glass all over him, glass underneath him. He's too shocked to even get the glass out the car. And I'm telling him, come on, brother, we got to cover this glass up. My mama coming down. My mama's birthday is Saturday. She'll be 68. My dad's birthday was last Saturday. He was 70. And they have always been worried about their son. And I've always never absorbed that level of, I tell you, I'm more scared about missing rent than somebody coming up trying to shoot me. Some real tension is making rent. Fuck a gun. We have all that material manifest shit we already got. We ain't got to go buy none of that. But rent, that's hard work. So when somebody didn't shoot nothing, shit, we got to get to the airport. My mama comes down. My mama comes down. Sister sees the car, the kids get in and notice that the windows all shot out, and my mama doesn't see it. And she kisses everybody off, goes on upstairs. We go on to the airport because we had to buy tickets for the littlest children, so we had to keep physically moving, and there was no need to keep standing out the building. We didn't know if they were coming back or what was happening. He come up with a pretty good description of the car. On Monday, I did the main radio station in Chicago with Cliff Kelly. We had delayed that from Friday. I got canceled and put over till Monday, and it was just as well. On Monday, I'll break down what happened on Sunday, and we start this full court press. I announced in the public that we are going to find that car. We're going to show the community how it is we catch. Now, last time I was at my mom's, time before last, Brother Kelly, who drove us in from Ohio there, had his car stolen out front of my mom's. This car used to drive us all into Ohio. We go to Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus. He would drive us from here to Chicago. Instead of us flying in, Brother Kelly would drive out of Cincinnati, pick us up. He's a brother who used to be in the nation too in Cincinnati. He'd pick us up, drive us back and forth through West Virginia and on up. So we used to make this run more often when we had Brother station wagon. They stole the car out front of my mom's. We knew they was on us then. We found that car about a week later, and my friends, I got friends in the police department, the district commander. Oh, when the police show up, the brother runs out in the street, the flag down, the police there almost instantaneous. They drive up to the car. They tell him, say, well, man, this happens all the time. This ain't no big deal in this neighborhood. He said, man, they almost shot me in the head. He said, what do you want me to do? Go out here and stop every 79 Caprice out here? I said, well, look, Bob, it's 5:20 in the morning. It ain't 10 cars on the street, period, let alone one without license plates. And a 79 Capri, which is not an ordinary vehicle running around. I want you all to go out here today and count how many 79 Caprices you run into and tell me how many years it takes you to see one. So the police insist upon the fact that they're going to do nothing and tell the brother he needs to just drop it. Now, the next day, the brother from the limousine company went to the district commander, who we know. I done made police in that town. When Harold Washington was mayor, when Sawyer was mayor, every time your mayor come in, he reappoints all the district commanders, reappoints the watch commanders, remakes the sergeants. And you ever know about running town? That's why I be so pissed at these niggas here who be up here trying to run a town, don't know how to run a town for black people. Ain't nobody gonna go to jail if you running the police. They don't close no fire department in your neighborhood when you won the election. You don't cut no jobs when it's your city. Hey, man, you don't cut off no liberation parade. You after liberation parade. Taking every hand in the joint. You on the weekends in the street giving out t-shirts with your name on it. You out here fixing the potholes to show the people. You don't see none of these niggas. I ain't never seen them shepherd y'all like I know, like Harold Washington shepherd his flock. I mean, there's such a big gap in how they tend to the people I be hurt. And that's what I tell you about DC. Y'all ain't never used my skills that I have, which has hurt me because you let some things happen to you that I could help you with that I don't feel I have the right to do. I told you past that, but I was past waiting on you now. I was going to come out and do it because if I wait any longer, they're going to be at the door busting in on my family because we gave a signal we didn't care enough. So, anyway, the district commander, my buddy called me yesterday and told me that the district commander has suspended the policemen, the two policemen that showed up. They've been suspended for 30 days for not filing a report on an attempted murder. I ain't into police reports. I ain't into calling the news media. I ain't into telling nobody shit. It's a black thing. We can handle it. And to have gotten 4 young men, as hard as I work for young brothers, they have gotten 4 young men and convinced them that Brother Copley dead was in their interest. Had to be for money. So I had announced in Chicago, from my bus drivers, from my mailmen, from my streetcar train drivers, everybody was going to get together and find that car. They're hunting that car down now. If that car moved anywhere in the city of Chicago, we're going to get it. And we're going to grab them ones that were in it and make them tell who sent them. Because we know on their own ain't enough against Brother Copley for 4 young black men to come and want to shoot at him, his mother, his woman, his babies. What my baby sit up and think about, they going to get in the car with a shout out, what's up, Daddy? They had to sit through me being fired. And all the other ridicule and embarrassment we went through in Chicago when we was attacked and isolated and left out there. They had their house burned down. Everybody said, well, did the house get burned down? We don't know. I saw the house getting burned down because the house next door got burned. It burned up their house. But all their shit got burned out. Anyway, and so as a result of that, we heightened the alert on all levels in every city. I have convened all of the brothers by phone in the last couple of days. In fact, they met last night. 50 men met last night in Chicago to prepare for my return, because we're going to have one hell of a return to show that you cannot scare our community. See, the terrorist act is done to quell the onslaught of the masses. The individual is chosen for their symbolism to the mass. Right. So you're going to hit Khaled because he's on the point. You're going to hit Malcolm because he's on the point. You're going to attack these people for being on the piercing element. The whole, don't nobody want to be like that. Yeah, did you see Copley in D.C. a couple weeks ago? Yeah, you could tell there's going to be some shooting. I told you I could smell them. I could smell them. And I smelled them before when they come to my doorstep. Now, I tell you how CIA work. CIA work, you build, but before you kill, you build. So you build or reintegrate on one level while you destroy it on another. The people get caught into the rebuilding and lose sight of the destruction. And I know exactly what tension is in the lecture that I put on black people, Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam, them pop-up Negro politicians, and all them other names, Kathy Hughes. I put those names of those people in those tapes. And I don't know who it is, because when we catch them, we going to find out. But I say to all those I be having tension with, that when the slugging come, I start slugging in every direction. I don't try to discriminate, because you'll help me find out when you get hit. You said, well, it wasn't me. I know who it was, though. That's how the white man do us when he catches. We tell on somebody else, but we are getting hurt.
Right. That's right.
And if you had heard that radio show in Chicago Monday, and them people pledging their lives to do what has to be done, again, I have never asked you to do or follow me anywhere. But I knew when I started to amalgamate you, because everybody, and them people know who watch me, know me in all those cities, know I have influence in people that I have never directed towards anything other than to know. But if we ever form 25 people in 25 cities, right there, we're as big as damn near everything in the country except one. 25 people in 25 cities is as big as everything except one. And that ain't nothing but a call. Hey, y'all, let's bring it together. So the ante has been up. Tension is much higher, but it's only a part of what has to go down. And when I talked to Khalid, after I called him to tell him what had happened in Chicago, and he then told me about what was happening in Chicago in the meeting, and that he still felt somewhat uncomfortable about the way the story ran, and he felt uncomfortable about the plastic attitude about the remarriage of him back into the nation. And he said, the headline says I've been reappointed to my old position, but in reality I am not national spokesperson in charge of all key ministers like I was. I've been reassigned to some undisclosed position, yet they have been revealed to him. So he's still tense. And I asked him to call you brothers who had assembled to develop these alternative power structures so we could do what needed to be done to advance Brother Collins' thinking by building forces in these places. And you can confuse your flock when you're repudiating something one day and then you be with it the next. Now, at the Slave Theater, December 14th, 94, Khalid got up there and refused to get baited in that big old coming together. I played for you all that tape. I know what's in that tape. I know, Brother Charles, you got it. It's in that tape on the counterinsurgency in and now. I'm playing that tape where Khalid refuses to be baited into this attack on Minister Farrakhan on December 14, 94 Slave Theater, and rescinds when 2,000 people just wait for him to say something bad against them, having been baited into saying it. And it was Pat Newton, Dr. Clark, Vera Shango from here in Silver Spring, Al Sharpton, Alton Maddox. There were 10, Conrad Mohammed, Eric Muhammad, all these speakers saying, cut it out, Nation in New York. We got to get together. So Nation was coming out and say, we're straight. We're all together now on this. But right before College spoke, they kind of baited him a little bit. College didn't fall for the bait. December 14th. Check the date. The FBI announces that Qabila Shabazz is the so-called Muslim militant extremist. After Khalid didn't bite the bait in attacking the minister, the FBI finally revealed to the nation the person they wouldn't tell them was Qabila Shabazz. And I went, Qabila Shabazz? That ain't no real threat. But the threat indicators were Muslim militant extremist / like a Khalid Muhammad. And I scolded the nation for meeting secretly with the FBI. FBI come meet with you, you declare it in the public. Because if you had her then, we could have cleaned that up and let you know that was a false profile. But that tension went on, and Khalid didn't meet with them. And I know the minister got the analysis about the Qabila Shabazz thing, because Eric Muhammad admitted to me he wrote it up for the minister and sent it to him, Coakley's theory on the FBI briefing and the failure to meet with Khalid Muhammad. People get hooked up, they take it upon themselves to write things they hear and they see. They become the eyes and the ears. So I load them up. I'll fix them up real good. You take this back. And Coakley's theories are pretty sound. And even though people don't stand with Coakley, many people sit and listen to Coakley for their insights deep within the lines, even in his bitterness and antagonism towards those who at different times are with the enemy. And this is not, I don't mean to want to put the nation down. I wish success in the Million Man March. I'm a supporter of it. I don't mean to put the minister down. I have loved him for many years. I just expect more from him. because I know him that well. I showed you all up there at Bernie Backus, him hugging me, standing up and defending me. What did Steve do? How dare you accuse him of racism with the blood of our people on your fingertips? And the audience go, "Arr!" And then they announced that he's going to put up money to protect Copley and his family, and it never materialized. And I showed that at this moment in time for a very important reason. I waited 7 years to show it to you. And it ain't been no big deal. It's just people never understood the relationship. So sometimes when I talk, you say, boy, you always condemning them and that. I said, again, I built the house they're living in. And when I go to speak, and this brother sees me, when the minister, him and y'all went to see the minister at the Bird Gym, when Malik had him at the Bird Gym, when I'm standing in the hallway selling tapes, this brother walks past me. He's in the Nation in Richmond, Virginia,